morning and welcome to Panther Tonight. My name is Jade Cheek.
And I am Lorna Zane with today's latest headlines.
Puerto Ricans reeling from Hurricane Maria arrive in Miami for temporary jobs. DACA students urge a congressional fix for undocumented immigrants. NBC6 meteorologist John Morales weighs in on climate change.
After years of preparation, Florida International University has made headway on a new pedestrian bridge to ensure the safety of the community. Let's go to Natalia Farfan for the story.
A pedestrian bridge connecting FIU's Modesto Medi campus and Sweetwater City at 8th Street and 109th Avenue is underway. With the expansion of the FIU campus, traffic around the area has increased and has created more safety concerns for the community. The new bridge will provide safe passage for students who need to cross the 7-lane street every day. This past August, an FIU freshman was hit and killed while crossing the intersection. Students at FIU support this initiative because they feel it is necessary to ensure their safety when crossing the dangerous street. Students especially feel it is a safety risk at night when people might ignore traffic signals. Construction is expected to be completed by December 2018.
Let's hope the bridge is completed soon because students are still putting their lives in danger crossing the street against the light. Next, student dreamers around the country are demanding action from local and federal governments. Let's take a further look.
Dreamers around the country are facing uncertainty after a decision to rescind the immigration program known as DACA was announced this past September. DACA, which stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, affects a large number of the immigrant community.
There are a lot of young people, and you have to remember there are approximately 800,000 individuals who already have DACA. DACA is not a status. DACA is sort of a limbo, if you like, where dreamers are allowed to be here in the U.S. without a status, and they can have a work permit while they're in this sort of limbo-ish type category.
Recipients who did not renew by the October 5th deadline will have their DACA benefits suspended after March 5th, 2018. Dreamers are fighting to have new legislation passed soon, before many are left illegally in the country.
How are we going to go back to a home that we don't even know? This is my home. I've grown up here for 16 years. I'm not going to get thrown back to a country that I don't even know.
Congress now has to decide the future of dreamers.
Now, they're back. They're back in the world of fear. They're back in the world of what am I going to do? And they're afraid. They're afraid for themselves. They're afraid for their families. And we really we need to rethink how we're handling this issue.
A very important story. I think we all know students benefiting from DACA. Let's see what happens in March. FIU is a commuter school, but many students rely on the bus to get to and from the two main campuses. Some students resent the cost.
To commute from the Modesto Medi campus to Biscayne Bay campus and back, many students catch a ride on the FIU Golden Panther Express. Currently registered students are required to pay $2.50 per trip, or $5 round trip. While the GPE provides an alternative to driving between FIU's two main campuses, some students express their dislike for having to pay to get to class.
I feel that every student should be able to ride the bus for free because it does add up and it's a bit expensive.
It's a serious inconvenience to pay $90 in transportation and tuition, and I'm already paying so much, and then to pay an extra $5 a day to get from the other campus to here and then back. I mean, it drives me crazy. I mean, I thought we already paid for it, so it feels like it's unfair.
Some students, however, are thankful that FIU provides a shuttle system and are willing to pay the fare.
Paying for the bus, I feel like it's better than driving over there because you'll save gas and the traffic is terrible and you won't have to find the horrible parking at MMC, so I'd rather catch the shuttle than drive over there, so it's easier for me.
Whether it's driving to campus or catching a ride on the bus, students always have a transportation option to get to class. The FIU Golden Panther Express runs roughly every 30 minutes between 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every Monday through Friday.
We'll keep an eye on this story as the discussion of the bus fares unfolds. Now we have our reporter, Vanessa Aguidello, covering a devastating situation in Homestead Farms. Vanessa?
South State farm workers are questioning work, shelter, and food after Hurricane Irma destroyed agricultural fields here in Florida City Homestead. Farm workers who live paycheck to paycheck are desperately looking for a source of income and any bit of food. For many farm workers, their lives quickly turned ugly when Hurricane Irma arrived. It's a scene Elvira Carvajale knows well.
El huracán Irma ha dejado, aunque no parezca,
Doesn't seem like it. Hurricane Irma didn't damage houses too much, but it did damage the harvest. This was a season for avocados, okra, and eggplant, so everyone that was involved in these crops were affected. The avocados were on the floor and the trees fell by the roots, so the harvest fell behind schedule. Now they're preparing the fields to plant again, but they will not begin to work again until December, and if the rain continues, it might take longer. I counted 26 banana bunch over there, ready to cut, but all was lost after the hurricane.
Despite the circumstances, the Farm Workers Association of Florida is evaluating needs as this recovery could take a long time. They are also accepting donations at their Homestead location.
Thank you, Vanessa. We hope the situation for these farm workers improves soon.
Recently, President Trump declared the opioid crisis a public health emergency. Here in South Florida, we're seeing an increase in opioid abuse. Reporter Colina Concepcion interviews WLRN's Peter Hayden.
The three things that everyone needs to know about the opioids crisis is, number one, it was born of a change in thinking in the medical community towards a more aggressive prescribing of prescription opioid drugs in the 1990s. That's where this came from. Number two, the reason we're seeing so many deaths at this point, or a significant spike in deaths, is because of the unpredictable supply of street heroin. People not knowing what they're getting. So the street heroin is very unpredictable and can kill you right away. People are just, the first responders are coming, people are there with the needles in their arm, and they just stop breathing. They turn blue, they stop breathing. I saw it a few times out myself with folks. The third thing that everyone should know about the opioid crisis is that there's no easy solution. I think there's no silver bullet to this crisis, and it's going to be around for a while, and it's going to take some out-of-the-box thinking to really address it.
Thank you, Kalina. Up next, we have Whitney with today's weather forecast.
Well, Jade and Lorna, make sure to bring your umbrellas because it's going to be a wet afternoon. There's a 70% chance of rain in South Florida. Temperatures will remain in the high 70s, low 80s, and the wind speed will remain at around 10 miles per hour. Now that hurricane season has come to an end, here's a reminder of some generator use precautions that can be used all year round.
When using a generator at home, the primary hazards to avoid are carbon monoxide poisoning, electric shock, or electrocution. This year alone, 6 deaths have been linked to the incorrect use of generators. To avoid any incidents, the firefighters with the Department of Miami-Dade have published a list of the safety measures. 1. Never run a generator in an enclosed space or indoors. 2. Don't run a portable generator in the rain. 3. Before refueling, turn off a gasoline-powered generator and let it cool. 4. Stock up on extra gasoline and store it properly. For more information about these measures, make sure you visit www.miamidadefire.com.
Fortunately, we can announce that hurricane season is now officially over. However, Puerto Rico is still reeling from Hurricane Maria's wrath. As a result, thousands of families have left the country looking for a better lifestyle in Miami. We interviewed a new arrival.
With the strike of Hurricane Maria on Puerto Rico, many living on the island were left with no jobs or source of income. Puerto Rican native Michelle Colon had to leave the island in hopes of finding a job elsewhere.
I decided to move to Miami due to the destruction brought on by Hurricane Irma.
I was left without my business and came here seeking a better future for me and my kids.
She came to America 15 days ago, and with the help of her family, she has been able to find a new job at Pandora Hair Salon in Hollandale Beach.
Thankfully, I have family in Miami. My sister owns a beauty salon, and I have been working there with her. My kids have started school here too. We have to take it step by step, but we are very hopeful. Step by step, but very quickly, this family seems to be succeeding and living the American dream, despite their hardships. Her older daughter, Jenny Gonzalez, has found a culinary job and is about to start her master's degree in Johnson & Wales University. Like Michelle, many Puerto Ricans are arriving and calling Miami home. According to multiple studies, climate change will be affecting South Florida soon. But is the public well informed? David Drucker speaks with meteorologist John Morales.
I'm here at Florida International University's Biscayne Bay campus, one of the many communities along the coast in South Florida that will be affected by climate change and the rising seas that it brings. We caught up with NBC6's John Morales, an expert on climate change, to learn more about how the rising seas will impact South Florida homeowners.
It's going to be a cascading set of circumstances which is going to be quite shocking, I believe, to many.
Morales, whose predictions have been helping Floridians since Hurricane Andrew, is one of few meteorologists that emphasizes climate change in his broadcasts.
In heavy precipitation, you can easily flood, and then that can cause additional damage. In case of a hurricane, you can have a storm surge be higher just because the sea level is higher.
Morales believes coastal residents will wake up when the rising seas begin to decrease the value of their homes.
It's not just an inconvenience and the possibility of damage, it's the possibility that insurers are going to not want to take that risk.
According to the Southeast Florida Regional Compact Climate Action Plan, sea level may rise 6 to 10 inches by 2030 and 14 to 26 inches by 2060.
If people want to live there, they can't have a mortgage anymore because mortgages require insurance. So you got to buy those homes cash. That is going to be a big hit to the local economy and a big shock to many people in terms of what this sea level rise's ultimate result will end up being.
Thank you, David, for keeping this conversation alive. Everyone in South Florida needs to be more aware of this slow-moving crisis.
This year's Anima Florida was held at the Miami Airport Convention Center, bringing out guests, vendors, artists, and more in a 3-day cosplay celebration. Our reporter, Maitney Kramer, has the inside scoop.
This is Anima Florida, a 3-day festival and convention meant to celebrate cosplay, anime, gaming, and more. Cosplay, a contraction of the words costume play, is a hobby in which participants called cosplayers wear costumes and fashion accessories to represent a specific character.
Friends are introducing friends into the anime and cosplay community. We're surrounded with really awesome people. We all like the same things. I think it's really awesome.
Aside from cosplays, Anima offers a lot of exciting and cool merchandise for sale. Some items like figurines are authentic Japanese products imported from Japan. Others are handmade by local artists.
It's cosplay conventions like this that allow for cosplayers to represent their fandom, pay tribute to their favorite characters, and show off their skills, all while having fun and possibly getting recognized for it.
Cons are also a place to simply hang out with friends and just have a good time.
You could be whoever you want, and people are super supportive, super nice, and it's a healthy environment to just hang out.
If you're a lover of anime, superheroes, comics, and more, then comic conventions are the place to go. For FIU News, I'm Natalia Kramer.
The Miami Children's Museum is reaching out to inner-city communities by providing free after-school programs that enhance their creativity skills. Nadia Escobar has a story for us.
Here at Kelsey Farr Elementary School, the students are fortunate to be involved in an after-school program funded by the Miami Children's Museum. The program focuses on the arts and how these activities can enhance their learning abilities and social interaction with other students.
The name of our program is the Miami Children's SMART program, and it has been in existence now about 11 years. Anyone and everyone is welcome into the program. The parents feel that the kids need aftercare with a little more help, with homework or, any of the other curriculums that we have going, then that's what we want to do, we help.
My role for the Miami Children's Museum is an educator. And as an educator, I implement different things as far as helping with homework, helping them with playing fun physical fitness activities. We also do a number of things as far as arts and crafts.
I think the program encourages my son to be a better person because it actually opens up his, how can you say it? It opens his mind up. I feel like he's very much involved, more involved with a lot of things. He wants to do more. He wants to stay longer. Every day he's texting or calling, Mom, can I stay longer? Can I stay?
I think that this program is important to inner city communities because not everyone has the advantage or the means of even becoming a part of programs like this.
Although Kelsey Farr and Charles Drew are the only two schools participating in the Miami Children's Museum SMART program, with a combination of 200 students in total, the program plans on expanding in other inner city schools in South Florida. There is no doubt that this program has impacted the lives of many students and will follow them for the rest of their lives.
Thank you, Nady. What an inspiring story. You can see on the children's faces how much that program means to them.
Well, that's all for tonight, folks. My name is Jade Cheek.
And I am Lorna Zane. And thanks for joining us on Panther Tonight.